Welcome back, or welcome if you haven't been here before. So do you want to know what happens if you have 14 plus inches of rain over the span of 10 days? You will learn quickly which pots you forgot to poke a hole in the bottom of. Luckily, there was only one for me, but here's an update really quick for friends, family, folks that are out there and are looking. Fig tree is rocking. I don't know if I've shown this before, but I've got some basil that I'm starting down the bottom of the fig tree. It's in a pot by itself. I threw a purple whole pea just for giggles. A little bit more basil, and around the corner I got some dill. Figured I'd put it out of sight, out of mind. The cucamelons. Looking forward to these. This ought to be cool. And I'm going to make a trellis for these. It's kind of outside the norm. I'll make a video about that, which should be pretty cool. The last time we talked about the potatoes, we've got the Kennebec potatoes here, and we've got the Yukon Gold there. They were doing okay, and then this pot had just barely sprouted, and I think the last update that I did was like a week. No, it's probably closer to a week and a half ago, but they have come a long way. They're growing fast. This rain has really made things take off. The onions and the flowers that are in the old watering trough are doing really well. I really wish I remember the lady's name that replied to me and told me what these flowers are, the ones that I called palm trees before. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but thank you very much. Please reply to this and let me know that you saw it, and I appreciate you so much, because I never knew what a Cosmo was, and I looked them up and I'm like, whew, I'm proud that I'm growing these. Mustard greens, we haven't gotten around to picking those yet. However, I did have one that was bolting a while ago, pulled it up, or broke it off, and carried it over where Candace, my wife, and I were sitting down. She said, I want to taste that. And she tasted it, and she went, whoo! And then she's like, oh, that's pretty good. So I think she's convinced we got to eat them. Beets, I'm going to have to do something with them. They're dying. This heat's killing them. So I'm going to pull those up, see what happens. We will go from there. Spin around real quick to the tomatoes. This wind, it may or may not give me fits this evening. I'm not sure yet. But these are beefsteak tomatoes here, and there. And then we've got cherry tomatoes over there. All of those are kind of doing their thing. Starting to get some flowers going. The Kentucky pole beans, they're growing. And hopefully they'll come up the trellis that I've got here for them, or the tent that I've got for them. And I'll get some green beans off of those. Remember how excited I got about the green peas? Never grown them before. It looks like they might try and make if the weather keeps going the way it is. I'm getting a lot more flowers on there. The pea pods are starting to fill out. They're not flat anymore. I've got peas actually growing inside of there. And even this little pot, I have got peas coming up. The daikon radishes, I'm not sure what's happened. I've done everything I possibly could to them. Maybe they're overcrowded. I really doubt it, since they've been fertilized and such, but maybe something with the soil. I don't remember what grew in that pot last year. I did mix in some good compost and such, but I'm gonna work on these over the next couple of days, thin them out, take care of the dead ones or dying ones, and just leave the few that are left. Maybe I'll get some, maybe I won't. We shall see. But here's where things are starting to get exciting. Rattlesnake pole beans right here. They're coming up. They're wanting to climb. These are the asparagus beans, also known as yard long beans. These are awesome. If you haven't seen those before, please go look them up. This is the one that I'm really looking forward to. I've had green beans before. Yard long beans, never had them, dunno. So if you've had them before, let me know. cucumbers. These are going to be the slicing cucumbers. Got 4 plants there. They're going to come up the trellis. Tried to have 4 plants here, but not sure what's going on. Got a little stunted growth action happening. The oregano is starting to come back. Planted a lot of flower seeds. And you know what? These flowers, they're not cooperating. I don't think I'm going to grow flowers from seeds anymore. I think I'm just going to go with flowers I buy from the store, because this is a long wait. I'm waiting longer for these flowers to come up, especially the calendulas. I'm waiting for longer for these to come up than I wait for anything else in the garden to come up. It's frustrating. I'm not sure how you flower gardeners do it, but I admire you. These are bunching onions, though. And somebody please tell me, will these ever start growing something other than what looks like a bad haircut? They've looked like this for a month. Purple hull peas go in there. No, I have not transplanted the squash plant yet. That's coming up. Things have been happening, things have been going on, haven't had the opportunity. These are the pickling cucumbers here and there. I've got 3 in each pot. They've come up nicely. Hopefully they too will come up the trellis. We'll see how that rocks along. And finally, last but not least, we have got the, what are they? Honey Kiss melons that Candace bought last year. We really liked it. We got it from the store. She saved all the seeds, and I planted a few of them that she saved. We've got 4 of them in there. There will be some sacrifice going on. I'm going to see which 2 are the strongest, and 2 of the others will be sacrificed as we go. But that's about all we've got going on here. Like I said, we've had over 14 inches of rain, and they're calling for an additional 3 to 5 inches this evening. So we'll see how it goes. I hope everyone's doing well, and maybe the next video I'll start getting the produce prison fixed up with a bunch of peas, peppers, and such going in there. Y'all take care.